Hey guys, so summer is here and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you out there trying to actually work on your showreel over the summer. So by fall, you are ready to actually apply for that new job. Now, if you are one of them, then I'm here to actually give you guys some tips on how to actually kind of like plan your showreel, make the most of your showreel, and make sure that you win, especially if you want to become a gameplay animator. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now, welcome to another video. My name is Harvey Newman and I like to share my passion for animation here in this channel with all of you, and I also make videos about games development. Recently I started a company called Proxima Studio. Go and check it out if you haven't so far, but we're having a ball developing a game that at the moment is kinda secret, but we are having a ball doing this, and I thought that this video should be dedicated to all those trying hard to actually kind of like make sure that they get in the industry, especially in animation, and they're trying to kind of like make the most out of their skills during the summertime. Now, summertime is a time that nothing much happens, not only in hiring, but also in the industry in general. There's games that are about to come out, and games that will come out most likely in the fall. So what happens as a game studio is that studios normally hire or contract hire people towards the end of the year because they want to finish their game. So around the September date or so, they start to ramp up to get that Christmas deadline out the window, make sure that the game comes out on Christmas or comes out just before Christmas. And then what happens as well is that as soon as that Christmas is done, the new year comes along, January or so, there's a lot of games that came along like, you know, the first or second quarter of the year. So they once again ramp up and then try to hire people again to make sure they hit those deadlines. So you might have noticed that as of recent, there's been lots of games coming out. Final Fantasy 16 comes to mind. Obviously, you know, Zelda, amazing. Tears of the Kingdom. Armored Core is about to come out as well. I think it's coming out at the end of the year. I think we have Starfield coming out later this year as well. So I think it's September. So there's plenty of games that, you know, I have either come out or will come out. And this year, I really think this year is going to be known as one of the best years for games ever. I don't remember ever having so many 9s out of 10s and 10s out of 10s games out there, because oh my god, they are coming in and they are coming in fast. I think it's going to be an amazing year for games. Now, if you are an animator, if you actually want to be a games developer, then there's no better time because the industry is only expanding more and more as the years go by. So here's a few tips on how to actually make sure that your work is seen in a new light, in a very unique light for all animators out there. I was speaking with a student of mine in my animation mentorship. Go and check it out if you haven't. I'll leave a link down below. But he was telling me how he felt like there's so much competition out there. He feels like it's impossible to get a job. And what my advice for him was, it was very much of along the lines that you are unique. This sounds cheesy, but it is 100% true. You are unique, and if you tell a story or if you tell an idea through your showreel that is unique to you as a person, nobody can copy you. And this is coming from somebody that has seen many showreels, hundreds and hundreds of showreels over the years, and I know that most showreels out there are going to look very similar to each other. They're going to have the same rules that most people know out there, making sure that you have a walk cycle and a run cycle and an idle and all these other things. And that those are all true because those are part of being a game, of making a game. You need an idle, you need a run, you need a walk cycle and a sprint and all these other things. However, you can still tell stories through your showreel. You can still have a beginning, middle, and end to your showreel. And those stories and those elements to it, even though they need to be gamified if you want to have a gameplay showreel, they can be your own and they can be unique to you. Like nobody else can have your own idea. So instead of you copying or just creating a walk cycle or just creating an idle or just creating a sprint, try to actually use it in context, right? Try to actually come up with an idea of why a guy would actually go from an idle to a run to a sprint, just like a game, right? I mean, the way that God of War does his locomotion, right, in the game is not the same as The Last of Us. Somebody had to create the character of one game, the character of the other one, as I mean the personality of the character, and then create the world around it, and then come up with if these things are true, then he would locomote this way, right? He would run this way, he would sprint this way, all these other things. And this is kind of how you guys need to think about your gameplay showreel, because if you start thinking about a deeper meaning to your character, a deeper meaning to every single shot that you have in your showreel, it means that you start having a showreel that says more than just press play, here's a walk cycle, here's a run cycle, all this stuff, right? So you need to basically infuse more to your shots that allow somebody like myself looking at your showreel and be like, this is really entertaining and I can see that this can go into game. And the reason why I'm saying all these things is because, to me at least, when I hire somebody, I hire them for their skill, for sure, but most importantly than that, I hire them for their ideas. Now, you can actually teach somebody that is a mediocre animator to be a good animator and polish their skills like a whole lot. It's no problem. But you cannot teach somebody how to be creative and how to have good ideas. That is innate to you, innate to the person. And to me, hiring somebody that has amazing ideas is much more important than hiring somebody that has really amazing animation skills but cannot come up with any ideas, and I have to tell them exactly what to do to a T, because then I have to just basically be looking over the shoulder of the person all the time about the work that he's doing, and he's kind of like just doing exactly what I'm telling him. That is not the kind of person that I like to hire. I like to hire the person that I can be like, we need an animation about this. Can you come up with a few ideas? And then let the person go, come up with the cool ideas, come back to me, and then do the blocking, and then do as much of the polish as possible, and maybe add a senior animator next to the person to be like, can you help this person polish his skills up to make sure that this shot is amazing, right? I think that's way more important to me. So what you need to do as an animator, as a developer trying to get into the games industry, is showcase that your ideas are absolutely bonkers, are absolutely amazing, and then polish your showreel to the best of the capabilities that you have right now, and apply for jobs, right? And this, to do all these things, it requires you to actually have planning in mind as you start your showreel. You cannot just willy-nilly see one piece of reference and be like, I'm going to animate that, and then just copy that and put it in your showreel, because that is basically just a good one motion content situation. And if it's out there and if it's on the internet, most likely other people might also think the same thing as you. It's a cool piece of a video of reference. I'm going to copy it and put it in my showreel. You kind of downgrading yourself already to a point where you're actually doing a piece of animation that other people might actually be doing at the same time as you, right? So what you need to do is basically start coming up with your own ideas and maybe include some of that reference. But that reference or that piece of cool content by itself is not an animation piece. What it is basically maybe the middle of your animation. So you use that as your middle of your animation, but then you have to build the story at the beginning, middle, and end of that story with your own reference. And now you're embellishing that little cool piece to be much bigger, more amazing. And that way you are sure to basically create something unique that is your own, and nobody else is going to tell that story like you did. So the reason how I like to think about it is almost like you start as a film director, and you think about the idea and you think about how it's going to be shot, and then you plan it as best as you can with both reference and thumbnails and write down some stuff about the character, and then you basically have the cool beats of the shot. Now that you have those, how do you gamify those and put those in game? This is how I think, at least when I think about animation direction, is the same thing. Like, being an animation director is all about, Harvey, we need this character to mount a horse and go on a horse and have the horse animations to look really, really cool. How do we go about it? I can only do that if I actually start thinking about it from a creative perspective and be like, okay, so what is this character about, right? Why do we want this character to mount a horse? How does this character walk and talk and all that stuff? Because that mount of the horse is going to be unique depending on that. And then after that, how much of the horse animation do we want to see? And how much is it going to be used in game? So those are some of the questions that I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about all of this creativity. The more you ask questions, the better it is. and then go back to the drawing board and start thinking about ideas, right? Put those down with as much detail as possible. Don't just jump into Maya, just go up, take some reference, draw some stuff, write some stuff, and then get into Maya and animate, right? So I hope this helps you guys, because I wish I had known this at a very young age. At a very young age, I was actually like rushing things because I felt like everybody was getting the jobs before me, and I'm like, oh my God, everybody's getting the jobs, I'm getting no jobs. And I was just rushing things, and my animation was rubbish as a result. Now, if you slow down and just make animation pieces that make you happy, that are very personal to you, that connect with you and you are proud of it, then that's all really you can do. Try not to project the fact that somebody else is going to like it. You need to like it first. And if you like it, and if you do something personal and you're happy with it personally, other people will see that. Other people will be like, this guy or this girl actually does things in a specific way because she's happy with it, and I respect that, because that's exactly how I am. And most creators will go through that same ideology that I just told you about and feel very connected with your work. And it might not be polished, but the ideas might be amazing, or the setup of the showreel might be amazing and very unique. So if it is amazing, if it's very unique, even though it's not super polished, I want to talk with you. I want to be like, let's get this person to have an interview with us, because I want to know more about their ideas, right? How they got to this point, and like how were they so creative? And then at that point you already have an interview, and now you just have to seal the deal and tell them the story behind your ideas. Why did you create certain things, and why did you get to certain conclusions? And the deeper you go into those, the better it's going to be. Because I'm definitely the kind of person that will ask you like, but so you are into this? Okay, so tell me more. Okay, that's really interesting. So I knew that about this and that. And then we go into games. What kind of games do you play? What's your favorites? And if we have something in common, then I'll be like, I like that game a lot. Oh my God, this thing was amazing. What do you think about that? And the more we can talk like this, the more I can start to see that you are a person that I want to work with. You are somebody that I will enjoy working with. So you are 90% there. Right? And this is basically all you can do right now. You can do the best showreel possible with the best ideas possible and present yourself as interesting as possible. And that's all you can do in your hands, and then just leave the rest to be, right? It's up to the studios to decide if they want to hire you. It's up to other people to find out if there's an opportunity for you, but you can do only what it's in your hands right now. So I hope this is useful to you all. Drop a comment down below. Let me know about your experiences, how happy, how frustrated, some of the plans that you have for this summer, for sure. And if you're still here, consider subscribing if you haven't so far. Give it a like. And also, thanks so much to all my Patreons that support me every single month. That's all for the video. I hope this was useful to you guys. See you guys next week for more content. And until then, stay well, stay safe. Peace.